Hi everyone and welcome to the women's final between Petoni FC and 19's FC. Apologies for the late start. We're about 9 minutes into this match, no goals as yet. Again, massive apologies for the late running start. Obviously it takes time to reset the system in between games, and with the boys semi-final running over and the tight timelines for the final, we could not push this kickoff out any further without impacting the girls, because they were out there warming up for a long period of time, so we certainly didn't want to interrupt that preparation for this match. Fortunately, we didn't miss any of the goals, so we can bring you all the live action from now. Fairly even game to start with at the moment, James. Petoni playing well, looking really for their target up front, as you can see with the ball at their feet at the moment, but Nelson get it clear.
Yeah, again, Chris, Petoni are looking to recycle the ball relatively quickly through their back four. FC Nelson have set up a really good defensive shape so far, so it's going to be a fascinating battle of tactics again to see who's able to one-up the other.
Yeah, of course, and but Thomas gets a chance, but just gets cleared away. FC Nelson clear. Of course, on day 2 of the tournament, we covered these two teams playing in the group stage, which was a very tight affair. I'm sure we'll see no different as we progress through this final.
And again, as you can see, both of these teams have played a significant amount of games to get to this point in the tournament, so in no rush to start the playoff or the play out too quickly, and the girls just taking a minute to get a breather when that goes through to the goalkeeper.
FC Nelson bring us forward. It's a wide area in the right, looking to recycle and see if they can link the play. Do very well here. Draw a free kick. Just for any neutrals watching, Petoni are in the all blue kit, and FC Nelson in their change kit of red and white stripes, black shorts, black socks. Referee just sorting out the wall, making sure that they're the appropriate distance back, waiting for the delivery to come in. Great first header clear from Petoni, and the second, and he drops as far as the edge. But the stop and play looks like it's a head injury. Not sure exactly where the contact came in. Needs to be up and about. You'll be too careful with head injuries. Got to make sure you take the time to do that assessment properly.
And again, we're also probably really fortunate today that the referee in the middle is Anna-Marie Keeley, who's a FIFA referee, so obviously she's had experience at that top level, so knows all the protocols and whatnot to go through with injured players.
It's wonderful to have officials of that sort of standard around the tournament for the weekends. We spoke about it briefly in the semi-final stream earlier, just around the massive team. See that tent in the far side that you can see in picture. It's the base camp for all the referees, and it's fairly full, especially in the first 2 days. The officials running multiple games, running a team of 50, so obviously it takes a lot to organise.
Also, there's a lot of pink shirts out there as well, so good to see the Lotto kit designer deciding that the referees in pink was a good number for the Labour Weekend tournament. Obviously the high-vis yellow for this game.
The referee drops the ball, gets us started. That's a couple of challenges to get the ball out wide. Still working that left-hand side, trying to take it to the byline. The read doesn't quite make it. It's comfortably cleared by Petoni, but still turning over possession, so FC Nelson can build again.
FC Nelson looking very comfortable in possession here.
Yeah, it was certainly a feature of their game yesterday as well. Very comfortable bringing the play out. Petoni too comfortable bringing the ball out and the play out. Once they start moving the ball forward, they really look for that longer ball into Amber Thomas up front, who of course scored in the earlier fixture. Real handful tricky at the feet, strong attacker, wins those physical battles well. There's been a lot of drama on this day of fixtures already. As you bring finals day on Monday, both of the men's semi-finals obviously going to extra time, neither of them all the way to shootouts. It'll be interesting if you get more drama here or if someone can win it in regulation.
And again, following on from the pool match that was played yesterday, there's not a lot between these two teams, so it could go the distance.
And just to confirm, the final has been pushed back from 12 to 12:30. Will give us the freedom that if this game runs over into extra time too, but I think it'll also give the men's players just that extra half hour to recover. With both of them going to extra time, it's going to be very testing on the legs because finals a bit longer again. And Blue Water hasn't got any smaller over the 3 days.
So Petoni looking to go a little bit longer there, but unfortunately weren't quite as accurate.
And Thomas again being a nuisance up top. Very hard to get the ball away from. FC Nelson again moving the ball well. Deep into the Petoni half, but Petoni win it back, but then quickly turn it over and turn it over again.
A little bit inaccurate there as they try to build out Petoni, but a good challenge there. Good to see the FC Nelson players finding little pockets in between the lines, trying to play on that little half turn.
It's the right idea from Nelson here. The pitch is bigger, and what we've seen is the ball get condensed in the wide areas where there's a lot of players around it, and it's hard to play through. The ideal way to play at a ground like this, which is so wide, is just get plenty of pivots, dropping into the little gaps in between the lines, being able to rotate the ball from left to right. As a defensive unit, it's much easier to keep compact and tight together if it's coming down the one side, but when the team's rotating the play and moving left to right, it just opens up gaps to find players in behind.
Again, it's looking like this ball might get trapped down this left back corridor for FC Nelson.
And they win a corner.
Again, set piece, a good opportunity for Petoni to get a strike on goal if possible. So first off, looking for some good delivery here from Kate Mutto. Looks like they're swarming the FC Nelson goalkeeper here, so swinger potentially.
Good flick on. They're just onto the roof of the net. Kate Mara was certainly a joy to watch yesterday. So aggressive in the tackle and positive coming forward with ball at feet.
Well done here by FC Nelson.
There's a chance to slip the 9 in behind. Just checks it back. Tony swarm. Got a lot of numbers around defensively. Cross comes in. This clearance half cleared, and the header completes it.
Again, like you mentioned, Thomas being that platform up top, trying to bring other players into it.
Nelson just runs into a bit of a blind alley down in that corner. Turn over Petoni.
Effective challenge there. Had to be made there.
Good defensive interception there. That ball was dangerous if it made all the way through.
Fantastic composure here from FC Nelson.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication. The ball rolls out in between the two and out for a throw-in. Good longer throw. Emma Thomas just beaten to it. And a great ball here.
Unfortunately, I think she's just straight
Question of
offside.
it offside, but she can recover.
Again, hasn't impacted
She does.
play.
Good refereeing there. Saw the flag go up, but understood that they hadn't really impacted play by receiving the ball yet. To enable that play to go on, put Petoni deep in their own half. And Nelson win an attacking throw-in.
Again, no real rush from either team to try and get this ball into play.
Ewan down this left-hand side. Seems to be a handful, getting involved a lot in the game in the early stages that in our coverage. For 20 minutes in overall. Apologies again for missing the initial few minutes.
Fortunately, no. Still 0-0, and the first 10 minutes was just a real feeling out phase for both of these teams. Not a lot of action in either goal mouth, and the majority of the play being
Well, it doesn't
around
get beyond the near
halfway.
post, but Petoni managed to get it clear. And Nelson really composed defending here. Probably sticking down this left-hand side a little too much. Probably good to open out at this point. Still going left. That's a better option.
As you might hear, the fans very enamoured by that decision to get out and try play around the other side.
Yeah, Bells just made the right call there. Too many times down that left-hand side. It just condenses the space, increases the numbers. Makes it very hard to play through. So the option just to put the ball back to the goalkeeper and be able to recycle out the other side. The ball's given away. You in with it. A slip pass into a 1v1 area. They'll just made and Petoni can clear.
Scrambling back in numbers particularly well there, Petoni, when they turn the ball over.
Yeah, they certainly are. And getting in and around the ball, I think it's just going to be important for Nelson. Obviously, we've seen the quality that they've got to be able to put the foot on the ball and move it around. So I think it's a little bit too much same side at the moment, which helps with Petoni's numbers because they don't have to travel that far. They can start getting a quicker switch of play. Then the movement of Nelson is going to be hard to live with.
If you're a bit short there today. But done well in the battle.
Free kick given. Looking for the longer range one. Just setting up to get numbers in the box. Probably a good option. Have to win the first header. Olivia Gibbs does that for Petoni. It does go back to Nelson to rebuild. Collision on the far side. It ends in a throw-in.
Again, you see Nelson trying to gain a little bit of ascendancy here. Petoni haven't seen a lot of possession or controlled possession in the last sort of 5 minutes or so, which is probably a little bit different to the first 5 minutes of the match. But again, just speaks to the ebb and flow of these games. Two very evenly matched teams, and there'll be periods of dominance for both sides as the game progresses.
Yeah, and conditions wise, we had a pretty cool start to the day in the other 2 days, but today the wind that has been around has completely died away and it is very warm out in the middle. So again, 2 full days of matches. The semi-final to finish yesterday afternoon. Coming into this final, you're going to feel it in the legs. And that heat is going to get to you as this game progresses.
Petoni struggle to clear their lines.
Trying to get it clear. But they're just trying to get the clearances away now, Petoni. They're not really being able to reset their own possession level from there. They're just giving it back for Nelson to keep coming at them. And Petoni get the header but can't get it clear. Pretty relentless position here by Nelson. Coming out to this left-hand side. As we go inside. Pass is a little wayward. But Petoni can just clear and not control. So it just comes back to them. Space to drive. Beats the first marker, not the second. Now Petoni should take the opportunity here to get a touch of the ball. It's a good ball over the top. Sends Evie Wilson through. Running into a tight area, so she's going to have to try to recycle this and find a teammate.
I see Nelson do well there to press. Again, it's come out to Petoni. Almost looks a little bit deep there to be too effective.
It's a strike from distance, but comfortably taken. It's having a good foil as a partner up there for Amber Thomas. Seems to be the nippy one. Very happy to get stuck into a challenge. High work rate. Constant threat in the games that we've covered from Petoni over the course of this weekend. Certainly at her most dangerous when you're working off the platform. Which is Amber Thomas leading the line for Petoni. Will win so many flicks and drop downs. Those around her can really benefit from.
FC Nelson doing really well defensively to get numbers behind the ball as they turn it over. So Petoni's had to come out and recycle this and try to build up possession.
A little bit too much for Taverner to come and get it.
And we see a substitution.
It's an early change. So Lott will come out and be replaced by Platt. Rousing reception. I don't know if that's for the player leaving or the player entering. If I was either of those two, I would just take the plaudits myself.
Fantastic to see Nelson Suburbs here supporting their fellow Nelsonians.
It's having it to give chase. It will be in vain as it goes out for a throw-in. Tidy footwork and tight area there from a couple of Nelson players. Really outnumbered, but come away with possession and able to open the play.
A lot of information coming from the Petoni sideline. Obviously not particularly happy with how things are currently transpiring, so looking to make a couple of tactical changes as we come into the end of the first half.
Yeah, I guess the concern that he may be thinking about at the moment is reflecting back to that first game where Petoni started so well and ended up getting clawed back by Nelson. Whereas this game today, they've certainly started on their back foot and they're hoping that it's just going to be a steamroll job from this Nelson side.
A good interplay, but again, that last ball, unfortunately, not quite there.
No, it's a great ball over the top to Ewan. Petoni will take that throw in. Not in a rush to get the game moving. Could have been a quick opportunity to get that ball into play straight away and get it back and have a go some backtracking defenders, but they take the time to get the fullback to take. Give both sides the chance to set up.
Again, Petoni just working down this right-hand side.
Drops to the edge. Trying to win the first challenge, but can't maintain the ball off the back of it. They now get it through Taverner. Loves the strike from distance. Kicked it on target. Comfortably saved. Great clearance forward, but Petoni wins it. Lots of space here to move into.
Trying to look for some control position here.
This is what we saw a lot of yesterday. Very comfortable in position.
Fantastic.
We say that, it's a good turnover.
Fantastic work there by FC Nelson in the press. Number 10 there, Brazendale. Coach is given an opportunity to start this afternoon, or this morning, sorry.
Blackman on the drive. Gets it back. Beats the first defender. Just plays it around the second. Sends Amber Thomas out wide. Looks like she's going to come back and she's tried to roll the ball forward again. That's enough to earn a throw in.
We've just ticked over half an hour here, so players are no rush and likely just want to see this into half time.
Yep, I'm sure they'll welcome the opportunity to a bit of a break and get a drink aboard and some further instructions. That takes us to half time. So again, we appreciate everyone's patience for us getting the stream up and running. But now that it's up, we've witnessed the first half that's been very tight.
Yeah.
I think Petoni have carried that threat when they're going in that longer range. Comfortable playing out from the back, but when they look to go long into Amber Thomas, linking in with Zara Tavernet, they've looked a dangerous side and look like going to pose problems. FC Nelson just look very composed on the ball.
Yeah, but again, a lot of FC Nelson's players been in front of the Petoni back four. There hasn't really been a lot of movement beyond, or it doesn't seem like they've troubled the defensive unit for Petoni a lot. So it's all well and good to play and build up, but unfortunately in that top third, they really seem to be lacking some penetration and getting the ball into those dangerous areas to get shots on target. Yeah,
the most likely really been Ewan down this left-hand side in front of us in our position. He's been a willing runner to get in there. Well supported by Brazendale in midfield, who's looked to buzz around and pick up the ball and try to slide that ball in behind, but probably hasn't done enough of it to really cause problems. It's something they'll be looking to change heading into the second half. Of course, there's always going to be nerves around. You know, tournament football is... You run out of opportunities to play a good amount of tournament football, and both these teams have got the opportunity to go all the way in this tournament, so certainly there'll be a lot of nerves in those groups of players. A lot of excitement as well, of course, this morning.
And again, anecdotally, finals are notorious for not being the prettiest matches of the tournament. Again, you've got 2 days of football in you and a little bit of nerve and just trying to play the percentages potentially and do what you can to win. And it's more of not making a mistake as opposed to trying to do something particularly brilliant. So, yeah, it's going to be a fascinating second half to see if anyone decides to sort of put the game on their back and try win it for their team, or if it's going to be an era that's ultimately the difference.
Yeah, probably a contrast in view when you look at the halftime huddles from what we saw in the boys semi-final earlier this morning. Both sets of players look fairly relaxed, just taking a chance to sit down and relax and get a bit of movement into the legs. Just taking the instruction from the coaching staff. No one's really pacing around or looking overly nervous, so I don't think either coach will really look to change too much.
No, I think there's enough there from both sides to show that they're there or thereabouts. Again, it's probably a piece of individual brilliance or an error that's likely going to break this game open. And so long as they stick to their patterns of play, and obviously there's two very distinct styles going on out there, and they've been coached very well through the build up into this tournament and are very aware of what their roles are. So I wouldn't expect a lot to change. And then again, hoping for that moment and to be able to take that moment should it arise.
Yeah, I guess it's important to know around how well organised these two teams are. I mean, if we look at the team sheets from when we covered this first matchup between the two, a lot of changes between the starting lineups between the two games, but we're not really seeing a huge difference in terms of approach or how they're approaching the game. So very very similar. So all that shows me is that the coaching staff have been very clear with their expectations and roles and responsibilities from the positions on the park, and the players are just coming in and out of that lineup, and all of them are able to contribute and add to this quality of the side. It's getting a bit of an extended break. Currently waiting for the teams to go out. Can't blame them for that. As I said before, it's a warm day and it's just getting warmer.
Again, good to see a few fans spotted around the ground despite the COVID restrictions. As Chris has alluded to in earlier broadcasts, it's unfortunate not to have our friends from Auckland and Waikato here to compete this year. So obviously a significant Wellington contingent into these playoffs and these games at the pointy end of the tournament, so on both the men's and the women's sides of things. But again, hopefully next year it'll be back to a relative normal structure for the tournament. And again, a big hat tip to the Napier City Rovers crew who have been able to pull this together. There have been a few teams that have pulled out last minute, which obviously brings with it some complications, but to be able to get the amount of teams here and two complete draws, and a couple of fantastic finals as the showpiece. It's a real testament to the team here at Napier City Rovers, and thank them for having us here.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Chris in particular, it's a dream to work with. We had it flashing up before around Napier City Rovers sponsors who obviously keep supporting the club and enable the volunteers and the crew here to get these sort of tournaments up and running. It's such a great venue to play football at. You've got wonderful turf in here at Blue Water Stadium, and then multiple pitches dotted around, running 6 to 8 games at a time in a normal year. So it's such a great job, great volunteer base. All of them here with us. First thing in the morning, 6 o'clock. We've got the quad bikes going around the grounds, putting out the QR codes, putting out the sunblock. Really got it down. They've done a great job with the ground here, just making sure that with the new COVID world, living by all the restrictions, but still allowing the maximum amount of support to come into the ground, and it's certainly appreciated by all the clubs.
And also a big thanks to Cello Sport having two pitches available for those who haven't been able to travel, obviously due to some of those restrictions. It's been great to have a couple of live streams available for people to watch. So again, you've heard us harping on, but the way that we're able to build this is if you can subscribe to the channel, and you'll get notifications of all the various community sport that Cello Sport are looking to bring out to the masses. It's been a fantastic opportunity for some of these players to have their games streamed, which they may not have in past. So an amazing opportunity to get some eyeballs on the screen, and we get to see some real talent that's on display.
Yeah, it's a really great opportunity for Cello Sport to come out here. We certainly started talking to Chris McIver a few weeks back when he was unsure on what the nature of this tournament would look like. But we really wanted to get into the football space and start broadcasting some football. The first time we did a real hit at it was the Central League playoffs, which obviously you were successful in. But coming out here and being able to cover a wide range of games, basically using an automated camera to really provide community clubs the option to get their content out there into a wider audience and really generate some sponsorship and some really close-knit communities and reach further into the local businesses and just get out there. There's a lot of fans, a lot of Petoni players and FC players from the past, and Nelson players from the past will be living overseas now or out of the area, and it's great to keep that touch point to be able to get people engaging with the club from far and wide. So that's what we're trying to drive and deliver as a real home of community sport in New Zealand, and hopefully over the next few months you'll see more and more across multiple sports coming to you on the platform. So it's great to have everyone along and joining us. We're getting some great feedback. But the most important thing right now is the second half. As Petoni get us underway. You're going to be bold enough to make a prediction here, James?
No, I will not be.
Doesn't surprise me.
And Petoni doing well in control possession here.
They are doing well. Looking for that clip ball in behind. And Tevena again, just a willing runner every time. Put a ball into an area and she will go right after. And if she doesn't get there first, she's that first line of pressure. It will generally get a turnover or, worst case, pick up a throw-in in an attacking area.
Good to see one of the referees across the far side doing ball duties. Making sure this game can continue to play at a decent tempo.
Ryan comes in. Recycle it back out. A little bit wayward in the pass, which will give Nelson the chance to attack. Loses out in a strong challenge. Amber Thomas, great body shape. Really reads that ball well coming in. Gets her body set up so she's very hard to be knocked off it. I love the confidence here. The FC Nelson players just knocking it about.
Yeah, again, having a bit of faith in your partner next to you and playing some nice little triangles and playing with 1 and 2 touches to progress the ball forward and not panicking, I suppose, is the big thing. Like you say, just having that bit of composure and just keep maintaining possession and looking for opportunities to open up further up the field. As we say that, we're looking for a longer free kick.
Good delivery. Puts it down. Nelson on the break.
Again, Petoni getting numbers around the ball and able to snuff that out relatively quickly.
Ball comes in from Nelson. First header clear. Petoni be able to get it down. Start to open the play. Having a look for the run out wide on the right hand side. If the Ranger pass was there to be able to get there.
It's a good little press there from FC Nelson, picking the moment. But again, Petoni's been able to beat it.
Now we come out to the left hand side.
It's a fantastic ball in behind there. In early phases of the second half, it's been relatively even. Both teams had a couple of phases of play which have borne some fruits, but still waiting for that one piece of quality to really separate these two teams.
What the game hasn't lacked is a work ethic between these two teams. There's been no free possession out there. Very adept at being able to make the pitch small, cut them into areas, and then really pressure the ball. And both sides are finding it hard to play through that sort of press. Long range throw, and makes another 20 yards down the touchline.
Take an opportunity to have a little conversation with the coach.
Yeah, again, we spoke about it briefly in the first half. What I'd really like to see is, off that sort of delivery, maybe the play getting the core to be able to get a turn on it. Transition the play out to the other side. There's a lot of space on this part. Both these teams have players that have the ability to drive 1v1 and beat their first defender. So it's just about finding the areas of space. The midfielders have got to take it on now. Just try to get the pivot, maybe open with receive the ball with a slightly open body position to be able to make that decision late.
Again, look,
good win in there from Gibbs. Great little slide ball through. Chance.
But again, that's that little piece of quality there from Petoni, stepping forward, winning the ball, and then releasing your player and beyond there.
Yeah, Gabriel Claridge had a great run through. Just couldn't find the finish. So Johns is going to join us from Nelson. See Nelson certainly well supported from the grandstand here.
Misplaced that pass playing out, and it's that girl Gibbs again from Petoni, picking up the second phase.
Leaves it again. Takes a safe option. Comes back to rebuild.
Interesting combination here for Petoni. Your two centre backs wearing number 9 and number 10.
Yeah. Again, not a big fan of a centre back in 9. Nara. Ambitious. Like the attitude though. Just to step through and hit that.
And Petoni seems to just be edging it a little bit so far this half, and now FC Nelson haven't managed to really build in and get a lot of control possession.
Yeah, that's right. So Bowers will exit play on the far side in front of the referee's tent. Make your way around with a slow walk. Being replaced by Johns.
Some activity down on the Petoni bench as well, so there might be some changes not too far away.
Asking for hands, but nothing given. Nelson can bring it away. They're going to run her in behind now. That's a wonderful pass.
Fantastic defending there.
Yeah,
though.
it was a great read. Got across on the angle.
It's that Gil Crawford, a number 9.
Moved like a striker to close that space down. Wonderful defending. The ball looked like it was going to be very dangerous, but the angle of the recovery and the timing, it just looked safe as houses all the way once you got there.
But again, promising play here from FC Nelson in that transition phase, trying to release players beyond the back four of Petoni.
Yeah, finding their feet somewhat in the second half. Thomas again tries to bring it down, but just loses out.
It's going to be a great little battle of the second half between Delamore and Thomas.
Thomas gets into a good pocket to receive. Tavenett looks for the option. Looks like she's run herself into a cul-de-sac, but gets out of it. And gets the ball back. This will be some goal if she can get something on the end of it. Just to the last defender.
Looks like it might be an inspired substitution there from the FC Nelson coach. As the new player making a crucial intervention there.
Tavenett again, just work rate, wins the ball back.
Unfortunately, the accuracy is just sort of starting to fall away a wee bit as the body starts to get a bit tired.
I like this from Nelson. First half we saw a little bit more of trying to go fullback to winger and try to advance the game through the wide areas. What we're seeing at the moment is that the centre-backs have got the freedom to control the ball, and then now they're starting to play with the drive.
Yeah, I think you mentioned in some of the men's games that there's been some really good rotation through in the forward third. So on that phase, the centre-backs decided to step through, and she's got confidence that one of her midfielders is going to sit at home for her and cover her off. So
Great ball here. Offside.
promising though there from FC Nelson.
Yeah, striker and keeper collided. See if she needs treatment. Play's going on. Just labouring a touch, holding the knee. Hopefully that's not too serious and she can run it off. So Petoni readying another substitution.
Again, the game started to stretch a little bit with FC Nelson's back four sitting relatively deep, and that space for the midfielders to try and patrol is just growing and growing, which as the game progresses could be difficult.
And again, brings the ball down, tries to cut inside, but can't. Still, as we've spoken about a lot about her today, gives the ball away, just doesn't rest on that, forces the challenge, and gets herself another throw-in.
It's fantastic seeing the attitude in that transition moment to want to win the ball back in good areas. It's all about mentality for those types of things, which is fantastic to see.
Come away again through a central area, runner out wide on the right, is found, but Mara, not a bar of it, she wins that challenge and restarts the attack. Only recycle through. Tony will make that substitution, the next stoppage in play. Second there I thought might be a goal as Taverner gets laid in, but ball's just a little bit too straight and easily picked up by the goalkeeper.
Here we go again, like you mentioned, Chris, playing through central areas.
So it looks like it's McIntosh going to join the play for Petoni in number 14.
He's found a foul in there. So here come Tony with some set piece here. So it'll be interesting to see whether they look to deliver. By the sounds of it, it's going to be relatively direct.
Yeah, and I think the approach will be just delivering it somewhere towards Amber Thomas and trading off the pieces from there. I think that's a fairly high percentage option for Petoni.
I'd like to see a few more players from Petoni in the box, to be fair. Looking for that second phase knockdown.
Olivia Gibbs just creeping towards the edge. She's been very prominent in this game. And
wow.
With a great strike. Difficult technique to hit it when it's dropping like that. And that's Amber Thomas. Gets removed in this final. Great shift and a great tournament. Very well played from Amber Thomas. You can look back with a lot of pride at what she's delivered over the course of these games. Nelson again, playing it out short, coming from deep inside their own 18-yard box. And that first ball to the fullback overhit.
Getting a little over 15 minutes here, Chris. Do you see a breakthrough coming?
Yeah, we haven't seen any really clear-cut chances. Had a few pot shots from deep, but no team's really carved up the other yet. So it may just come down to one moment, and that's really hard to predict who that will be. At this stage, you'd say Petoni's probably the dominant one, having more of the territory in the second half. Nelson just struggled to find their feet a little bit in comparison to what they were doing in the first half, but we know they've got the quality to turn that around. If they have a good 5-minute spell, it's enough to put a goal away. So all in all, that was a pretty elaborate fence sit.
Welcome to the club.
Start their build up well. Going to be too tight with that forward pass, but they do get a throw in.
Again, Gibbs is going about her work really well in there in midfield, being relatively disruptive and identifying opportunities where she can step on and win challenges.
It's a great position to win the ball. But again, it's been a hallmark of the Petoni performance so far. They turn over the ball in a bad area for themselves, but as soon as the Nelson player turns and tries to get some advantage out of it, it's second Petoni player there to win the challenge. So,
Like you said, they've been really effective defending and being able to swarm the ball. As an FC Nelson player, it means you don't have a lot of time to make good decisions, so you're having to rush things, and unfortunately, a lot of the time turning the ball over in that phase just as you want it back.
Petoni taking the short option.
I'm a huge fan of being able to pass inside your 18-yard box from goal kicks. I struggle to get it outside the 18-yard box on a good day.
It certainly changed. The build-up play, that rule change that allows that. Obviously, it always used to be that it had to leave the 18-yard box. But the ability to play short, it has a bigger change than what you'd think from the outside looking in. The whole ability to set up your frontline pressure or how high you pressure when teams do that, it's actually quite a big decision, because if you go all the way in, there's so much space to be played through between the lines. But if you don't pressure that high, then you're just giving free ball away. So both these teams taking advantage of that rule change during this match.
And here comes Claridge again down this left-hand side. Unfortunately, the ball's a little bit long for her.
Good battle in there. Mara comes in to complete the job. We saw a lot of that yesterday. The ball needs winning, Mara will win it.
It's really good as a teammate, you know, when you see your fellow players going into challenges like that and winning the ball. It gives you that little bit of energy, and you sort of know that you're on that front foot. Fantastic tight control there from the FC Nelson player.
It breaks free here. Solo run. Great turn away from pressure there. Unfortunately, the ball goes astray, but
The leaf out of the Chris Sandbrook defending manual there.
such composure to get that on the turn. Arrow win it. Going forward, but the ball just runs out of play. Rosendale will get us restarted. Just looking for movement. She's not really seeing a lot, so just takes the line option. Tony will bring us out.
A bit more direct this time from Petoni. Well dealt with by FC Nelson. Was that also from the Chris Sandbrook?
Oh, step on the ball. We've seen a bit of that over the course of the tournament, just getting stuck under feet. Especially day one, we saw a lot between goalkeeper and centre back getting misread.
Outstanding challenge
That's
there.
a wonderful challenge. Had to be made.
Kirsten again, she's made two really telling interventions down there. So again, about 11 or 12 minutes to go. No rush here from FC Nelson. Unfortunately for Rosendale, she's had to come from right back all the way to left back to take that throw in. A little bit like fine leg to fine leg if you were playing cricket.
It's a long run. And I'm sensing we might be having another period of extra time here. I'm not seeing a lot that's going to. A lot of signs that's going to show that someone's going to break the deadlock, but you never know. There always can be a spark or an error, something that's going to decide this match. But we've spoken a lot about it today. Both sides set up well defensively, so they seem to be countering each other out. Get us started again. And obviously, Amber Thomas had a lot of minutes in the league, so maybe that kind of led to the substitution at this point. But in the game at 0-0, when you're looking for a goal scorer,
But again, McIntosh might bring something a little bit different, leading the line, which the Petoni coach may have been looking for. So, you know, it could be potentially a masterstroke come the 59th minute if she pops up and gets one.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe it's just pace for platform. Maybe that's the trade-off. And as the game goes on and legs tire, maybe pace over the top is the better option.
As he's just directing, he's asking her to go play on the last shoulder of the FC Nelson defenders. So potentially looking for that little run off the shoulder and ball and beyond.
Much like the semi-final we covered earlier, the crowd's just got into a bit of a lull. Pretty quiet, just looking for a bit of action to spark them back into life. Great challenge. Again, there's no free clearances in this game. For a big pitch, there's just no freedom on it. There's just pressure everywhere.
You're right, there's a very big pitch out there.
Mara will see that one out. Clipped as well. The ball does drop to Petoni. And that last ball given away.
There's an opportunity there for FC Nelson. Butchery's made a really good run forward, and unfortunately her teammate wasn't able to find her.
And look to play on, but flag's gone up, so that ball did roll out of play. But it will be Petoni ball, but will be a bit further back than where Mara wants to take it. We'll see how much of that space she's been asked to march back. She steals through this long run for the throw-in. Oh, not much at all. Too honest. Great turn. Got herself a lot of time there.
But again, a lot of this play is predominantly in the middle or the middle third of the field. There hasn't been a huge amount of action at either goal mouth the second half.
I think both defensive units are very good, and it's going to take something special to break it down. We certainly said in the first half that it was FC Nelson dominating that, but Petoni certainly much the better the second half.
I think it probably speaks to how evenly matched these two teams are.
That's right. Having up. Asking for something. I think it's just a throw-in.
Referee Kylie was in the perfect position to make a judgment though. She was very close to the play and obviously saw nothing in it.
Yeah, it's always difficult to judge. It's that 50-50, they're coming together. And it was more of a tangle where she goes past. I'm happy that the tackle was clean and there was no foul play afterwards. So play continues as Mara takes us down towards the corner.
Oh, an interesting collision there. Referee saw nothing in it though. So another Petoni throw-in down in the corner.
Having it. Good work again. Just the ball inside. Nelson come away with it, but having it, not giving it up. Nelson avoid the pressure well to bring the ball forward. Great spot for that run. Wonderful header.
It's an outstanding intervention there. There were two FC Nelson players getting beyond that. It had to be made.
Crucial header from Crawford to make. Great run here. Gibbs has been so prominent in the second half. Really getting a team moving forward and wins a free kick. This could be a dangerous area as we're getting into the last 4 or so minutes of this game. It was a really dangerous transition there. Nelson FC had a great opportunity. It was a wonderful spot. The run came late. Crawford up with a wonderful header, which set us down on this counter-attack with Olivia Gibbs. Drove past a few and into free kick. And this is quite a dangerous area. You'd imagine they'll probably look to hang this up near the far post. And
you've got a really good opportunity where you can either take a shot or you can deliver. So the goalkeeper's going to be in two minds here as to making sure she needs to cover a near post, but also being on her toes enough to be able to come out and claim something if it's close enough to her.
Gibbs will take the free kick that she earned. Hangs it up. Good save. Good save, but at the expense of a corner.
It's not on the back of the net though, Chris. That's all that matters.
Absolutely. Petoni still got 4 back for the set piece. Nelson only 1 forward. Probably commit another 1 or 2 here. Good delivery.
Keeper's calm.
Tamara. She hits it. Good save.
Great recovery there from the FC Nelson goalkeeper.
Great technique for Mara to get that on target from that distance.
Again, those are those moments where potentially that could be the winning or losing of the game.
Or rolling back to her. So easy just to blast it over the bar.
Good composure here from the back 4 of Petoni.
Freedom to turn. Wonderful run.
Safe as houses there from the FC Nelson goalkeeper, knowing exactly where her posts are.
Yeah, she never looked worried.
We go into the last couple of minutes here. Fantastic footwork there out at left back. Over the pass. Ooh.
Got a free kick on the back of it. Looks like we're maybe taking our 3rd game of the day into extra time. It's a good sign of how competitive both these tournaments are. I'm missing a lot of teams, yes, and it would be great to have the Auckland sides here. But for the teams that have been able to travel and compete, once we get to the business ends, we're getting some great football matches.
And again, it's been played in really good spirits as well. There haven't been any awful tackles or anything like that, and both teams going at it, trying to get the win.
And if they want to do it inside normal time, they've got about 30 seconds to do.
As we see the assistant referee, or the 4th official, preparing the stoppage time board.
Can't imagine there'd be much for the second half. Haven't seen too many stoppages.
There you go, 1 minute. Been shown.
Mara with the ball. Goalkeeper does well again. Been outstanding between the sticks today.
Again, as we've mentioned earlier in the tournament, having a goalkeeper who's able to take those long balls and deal with crosses just gives you so much more confidence as a back 4, and just really permeates throughout the team.
Yeah, well, you know, if you hang up in the 6-yard box, you're not getting it back. So you have to make sure that The crossing is accurate and the defence love it. There's nothing better than having a good, strong goalkeeper behind you that you have total faith in. Great little step out here from Gibbs.
And again, we're probably getting close to that minute.
Be a hard call between Gibbs and Mara, really, who's been Petoni's best in the second half. And we have full time. A very, very tight affair. Ends at Petoni 0, FC Nelson 0. The players will have a short time now to regroup and recover before heading into another set of extra time. Very dramatic finals day.
So again, this bonus football probably makes up for the first 10 minutes of the broadcast, which we unfortunately weren't able to provide, obviously due to the earlier games going into extra time.
As we mentioned before, the men's finals have been pushed back to 12:30. It may need to be pushed back again. We'll check with them to see what the timings are like. The team's just having last few instructions. Again, like we said during the semi-final break, it's going to be the chance for the coaches to challenge the players, see who's up for it. Make sure you've got the players with some more minutes in the legs. As we say that, Brazendale walks to flip the coin for extra time and she looks sore.
Mind games, Chris.
Olivia Gibbs looks fresh. Finished that half so strongly. Such a good ball carrier. Rosendale looks, there's been some sort of discomfort there. It's hardly surprising after the amount of football that these girls have played.
But again, as we saw in the earlier games today, the 7.5 minutes of extra time absolutely flies by. We were shocked that we had reached half-time in the first game here between Olympic and Tauranga.
That's right, the more you watch, the more you get sucked into the drama of it all.
And again, even the referees are probably enjoying a little opportunity to catch their breath and settle down a little bit. They've been very well performed today, refereeing through. You expect nothing less good than the quality that we've got out there, but again.
Yeah, and you certainly, we've mentioned it before, but today is certainly the hottest day of the weekend so far. So it'll be very warm out in the middle, very humid conditions here in Napier.
So again, now that we've both sat on the fence once, any predictions here, Chris?
I think Petoni will take it at extra time. That's my prediction. You're going to respond with a prediction of your own, James?
I think I'm going to follow suit with you, Chris. Again, we've seen some late drama in the two early games, so why not follow that trend and a late goal to Petoni to pick it up?
Yeah, I think they just finished that half the stronger. And they look more likely to create a chance. FC Nelson have been good in possession, but I also think that they just haven't really done enough to create anything clear cut. Certainly not in that second half period anyway. So, I mean, obviously this break could come at a good time, but if Brazendale's going to continue the match and like walking like she did for the toss of the coin, She just looks sore. So if that's the state that the bodies are in, it's going to be a tough final 15-minute period.
Again, if Gibbs is able to win some ball in midfield and transition forward quickly, and if you can have McIntosh running off the shoulders, then I think that's where they're going to get some joy for Petoni. And obviously that's a tactical change that the coach has decided to make halfway through the second half, pulling off Thomas, who throughout the tournament has been relatively critical for them as the focal point of their attack. So an interesting 15 minutes ahead.
Very interesting. And almost with the halftime split in between, if it was a period of 15 minutes, you'd have a bit more time to build yourself back into the game. But because it's split, changing ends after only 7.5 minutes, by the time you're into it, it stops again. And I think that's what took us by surprise in the early game. You're just getting back into the rhythm of the match, and then it stops and then starts again. Obviously in that game, both Olympic and North Wellington were fortunate enough to be able to pop up with a late one to avoid penalties, but we'll see if one of these sides can do the same, or whether we get the first penalty shootout of the finals day. FC Nelson will get us underway. They'll be playing left to right. Of course, Nelson in the red, Petoni in the blue.
So again, controlled possession here from FC Nelson. Fantastic turn here on the near touchline. I think there might have been a jersey tug there.
Comes out. Probably the last thing she needed to was to go through a heavy challenge in the first minute. She's done it well.
Outstanding work down the back there from Petoni.
Yep, Platt steps forward to take the ball away for Nelson, but gives away to throw which Merrill will take.
Probably just trying to hit an area there as opposed to particularly a player. Just get it into that channel and work off that second phase. Some movement here.
Nice one. Works through the first challenge. Tries to recycle it back but loses it. Mara can't bring under control either. And the clearance will just meander out for a comfortable goal kick.
So again, you're looking for a short goal kick here. Petoni don't look too keen to press too high up the field.
Sticking with the theme of the day, they're happy to play through these tight areas. Petoni put them under a lot of pressure.
Again, it's a difficult one as the midfielder. It's a straight ball. There's not a lot you can really do with it, especially if you're getting pressed.
Platt gets it back, try to open out down the line. Good Petoni pressure again, forces a throw in.
Nice variation there from FC Nelson, going through midfield on the throw rather than working the line as they have the last little while.
Yeah, try to keep it in but can't, so Petoni will take possession from a throw in. Continuing down this theme of trying to get down this left-hand channel. A lot of players in there. Nelson will look to open out.
Petoni doing well to scramble in defence there.
Good long throw from Nelson. Finds a lot of space. The link-up play breaks down and Gibbs brings it away.
Again, looking for some teammates to continue to play out.
Only able to get that on the turn. Well, that might have been a little bit ambitious, but she has kept it in. 1-2. Just avoided them all.
She probably wants some help from her goalkeeper there. Well, to win a throw in out of that little exchange. Again, here comes Brazendale with the ball. And a good decision just to work the line.
Long throw, and Petoni can recycle it through the back. Go for the longer range. That's central. So it's easy for FC Nelson to pick up the ball, start the counter-attack of their own.
Again, this is becoming a very transitional game. Both back fours sitting really deep.
Could be a chance.
Oh,
Goalkeeper's
outstanding
done well.
goalkeeping. Outstanding goalkeeping there. Recognise the danger.
Mara forces her way forward.
There's an opportunity for Nelson.
Certainly seeing a lot of tired legs out there at the moment.
This game's getting stretched and stretched as both back fours like to sit relatively deep, and unfortunately for the girls in midfield, there's a lot of distance to try cover.
Yeah, and the more this game stretches, the more likely it is to find a winner inside extra time. Great ball into the area. This one's given away.
Fantastic step though by the FC Nelson defender just to make sure that Petoni can't counter. Audacious.
People look a little bit worried about it for a second there.
She's just waved as it goes past the post. Promising there from FC Nelson though, the crowd's getting into it. There's a strong contingent of Nelson Suburbs players just to our right here, which you might be able to hear coming through the sound effects.
A touch inside. Platt does well. Distance to be taken.
One down here, a minute or so left in this first half of the time. FC Nelson looking like they've had the better of it this half.
Yeah, definitely. They've definitely come out in extra time, the better.
Wow.
Nice couple of step overs to skip clear.
One too many, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they did draw a free kick. Coming up to the end of this first period of extra time. This is a good set piece. Should be a good one to just put on target. If they can swarm the attackers in there.
Not sure you need a wall from this far out.
Yeah, if anything, it could hinder your view.
This rolls out for a goal kick. And there's half time.
That's half time.
Be interesting to see if the referee allows them to have some more or just wants a quick change. Again though, in the two earlier games today, we saw the winning goal come in the second period of extra time.
Yeah, both late in that second period. Such hard work. Both these sides out there.
See the subs helping out, getting some waters down the girls.
It's certainly an interesting match. FC Nelson really on top in that first half, Petoni in the second, in the first period of extra time. Nelson took the ascendancy. And in the second half of extra time, 7.5 minutes to go, of course. For someone to find a winner. Trying to get us underway.
So again, it's wanting a little bit of accuracy from both teams and making sure that you're connecting on some of those passes.
Long range throw in. Petoni able to recycle it. Asking for someone to come short. He hasn't got a lot of options.
Fantastic interplay down this near side from Petoni.
Yeah, tipping it. Rolls it inside and then makes the run and beyond. Gets it back and drives before finding a front runner. And Claridge just goes for the strike from the edge, but just doesn't get anywhere near enough to trouble the goalkeeper.
Fantastic touch here on the near side. Again, very composed build up here from FC Nelson.
Couple of late changes coming here for Nelson.
And again, the pace of the game's just relatively slow at the moment. 6 games or so throughout the weekend is obviously having its effect on the girls out there.
Good ball through for Tavernet. McIntosh provides chase, but Nelson should be able to clear. Which puts enough pressure to get a throw in. Do well again, composed under pressure in a tight area. Now they get the chance to come forward.
Well recovered there from Petoni, and again showing a bit of composure themselves.
Find Tavernet up the line. Got from distance. Go from the Petoni keeper. A couple of substitutions here for Nelson. So it looks like Kirk will be removed for Rig. And also Ewan will come out. Be replaced by Eiffel. Change for Petoni. So Cicely Holland comes out. And Medicaid into the field to play for the last few minutes. Only cut out the play out. Looking for the ball forward. This turns into a foot race. Let Nelson win and they can restart the play.
Unfortunately, it's just a little bit under hit there. As we've seen, the pitch is a little bit slow today.
Only strongly through the challenge. Moving it forward. Gibbs with the ball. Just gets cut out.
Fantastic set through from the fence and Petoni. Continue to run if she can deliver here.
Has to bring the ball out. Petoni cut it out. Both teams desperate to create that chance to win this final. So strong in the tackle from Gibbs. Tries to get the ball across. Having it back to Gibbs.
Again, FC Nelson doing really well to get numbers behind the ball there and really shut down the space that Petoni are trying to exploit.
And he continued to commit numbers forward into this attack. Gibbs just moves it on in time. Ball recycles out to the left-hand side with Mara. Mara looks to get into the box. Comfortably cleared. Gibbs has it.
So again, no rush from the FC Nelson goalkeeper to get the ball back and play too quickly. Again, not long left, maybe a minute and a half or so. Could be some very late drama here.
Petoni looking for the delivery. First one is blocked. Second one comes in. Having it. Can't bring it under, but it's gone out to Gibbs. Gibbs evades the first challenge and the second and wins a free kick right on the edge. Could this be the late drama?
So here we go, and a very late opportunity, shall we say, for Petoni here. Obviously, Gibbs had a good shot on target from set piece earlier on in this match, towards the end of the second half.
Times it's a little bit closer. The angle will be slightly different. Gibbs over the ball. Drives it. It's in! What a strike! Wow! Wow!
Fantastic strike.
Unbelievable strike, especially in the context of the game. Last minute of the final. Just whipped it. Just inside that far post. That should theoretically be time up.
Yeah, the Petoni players just checking with the referee how much longer there is to go.
See Nelson with a strike from halfway.
Just keep that at your feet. Ooh.
And there it is. Full time. Congratulations, Petoni FC.
With the last kick of the game.
Last kick of the game. Unbelievable finish. To claim the Napier City Rovers Under-19 women's title for 2021 with a dramatic and incredible late winner.
Commiserations to FC Nelson. They've played a fantastic final, contributed to a real showpiece here today at Park Island. But again, that piece of quality there from Gibbs is just worthy of winning a final.
Absolutely, and what a final state it's been so far. Both semi-finals in the men's draw and then in the women's final, all going to extra time, all being decided by last minute winners. For the neutral sitting at home watching a penalty shootout, we've let you down 3 times.
However, we have taken our seat off the fence and may have called that one, so chalk that one up for the commentators.
But absolutely exceptional finish to the game, and what a goal to win it on. So thank you for joining us here on Chelo Sport for the women's final. Jump back on the YouTube page, find the link for the men's final, which will be starting in a few minutes' time, and we look forward to bringing you that call. Massive final coming up between North Wellington and Wellington Olympic.